We're going to explain the attribute error, sequential object has no attribute model, load model, save model error in Python. This error pops up when you're working with Keras sequential models and try to use methods like model.save, model, when, model.loadModel, or mistakenly access a non-existent attribute named model within your sequential model. The core problem is that the sequential model is the model. It doesn't contain another model object inside it. You don't need to access something like mymodel.model.save. 1. Understanding sequential models. In Keras, a sequential model is a linear stack of layers. You create it, add layers to it, and then train it directly. There's no nested model object within a sequential model. 2. Incorrect syntax. The error frequently arises from incorrectly trying to use save model, load model, or similar functions. These are Keras functions, not methods of the sequential object itself. You should use them as Keras models. Save model, mymodel.h5. To save and model equals Keras models, load model, mymodel, h5. To load a model. Note the use of Keras models, which are functions for handling models, not methods of the sequential model itself. 3. The correct way to save and load. To save a sequential model, use Keras models.save model mySequential model file path, where mySequential model is your trained sequential model and file path is the path to save it, e.g. mymodel at h5. To load it, use loaded model equals Keras models load model file path. These are direct function calls from the Keras models module, not methods called from within the sequential model. 4. Common mistakes. Double-check your code to make sure you aren't accidentally adding an extra model to your model object. For example, my sequential modeled model. Save that is incorrect. Only use Keras models. Save model my sequential model, my model h5. Make sure you have correctly imported the necessary Keras modules from TensorFlow import Keras. Missing imports can lead to similar-looking errors. 5. Debugging steps. If you encounter this error, carefully examine how you're interacting with your sequential model. Print the type of your model, print type mymodel, to verify it's a Keras sequential model. Check your imports to make sure everything is correctly imported. And always remember to use the Keras.models modules functions for saving and loading, not attempt to call them as methods of your sequential model. Review the code for typos or incorrect method calls related to saving and loading your model. Ensure your file paths are correct and the file exists when attempting to load.